आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्. A very warm welcome to whoever is present here today. So far, we have seen the great debate that usually happens in the form of a conflict within our mind. Daiva and Purushaprayatna, fate against human efforts, fate against efforts. So Rama, even though he seemed to be favoring fate at that particular moment, we should not forget that this is the same man, this is the same Rama who single-handedly defeated 14,000 soldiers, an army of 14,000 men, single-handedly within an hour. This is the same Rama. So Rama was not entirely against human efforts, but he was against that human effort which is against dharma or which is in the path of adharma. So if our human efforts, if our efforts are not towards dharma, then those efforts have no meaning. So far we have arrived at that conclusion. And now, after convincing his mother and his brother Lakshmana, Rama now proceeds to his next task. The most difficult task is to convince a woman, especially if that woman happens to be your wife. Now Rama faced this struggle. Now, he goes to Sita. There is a beautiful description of Rama here, which might surprise several people. When we study the original story of Ramayana from Valmiki, it might surprise a few people because this is the place where Valmiki shows Rama very vulnerable. In fact, we don't see him this vulnerable anywhere else. So here he comes, and Sita was unaware of all this, anything that was going on in the city. She was unaware of it. So she was expecting Rama to come back happily, to see a smile on his face. She was expecting to see Rama with the crown on his head. She was expecting Rama to be accompanied by an army, by several of the other privileges that follows a king. But it was to her surprise that she found Rama with none of them. He was a bit sad. Why was Rama sad? It's a very interesting question. And I think after the conversation of Sita and Rama, I think I will answer that question. But right now, according to Valmiki, as soon as Rama saw Sita, he could not control his tears. Tam drishtva sahi dharmatma nashashaka manogatam tam shokam raghava sodhum tato vibhratatam gata. He was unable to control his agony, to control his pain, the misery that he was going through. What was the pain that he was having? Was that the pain of losing the crown? We will see. Now, Sita was surprised to see Rama like this. So she began asking him, what happened? Today was your coronation ceremony. You were supposed to be the king of Ayodhya today. What just happened? Why are you like this? Why nobody is following you? She asked several questions. Now, it was Rama's turn to answer them, to answer those questions. So Rama began answering them. He said that, my dear wife, my father is sending me to forest for 14 years. It is not a picnic, right? So 14 years, my father is sending me to forest, and he is giving the crown to Bharata. So this is the arrangement. This is what my father has told me. Rama was not sad for this part. Rama was sad for the coming part. He was sad because he said that I am sad because I have to leave you for 14 years. Because Sita was never a part of deal. Everybody knows that. So now Rama is upset that he has to leave his beloved wife and he has to go to forest for 14 years. So that's why he was very sad. That's what he conveyed to Sita. And then he gave her few instructions, which are, according to me, eternal. eternal instructions for everybody, not just a woman, for everybody. He said that, see, do follow Bharata's orders. Don't speak up against Bharata. Not just this. I mean, Rama did not advise Sita not only to speak against Bharata, but he also advised Sita not to speak about himself in front of Bharata. Bharatasya samipe tu naham kathyah kadachana. You should not even mention my name in front of Bharata. Why? What is the reason? Riddhi yukta hi purushaha nasahante parastavam. The courageous men who are courageous, they don't appreciate when people praise or when people sing others' glory. They don't like it. So Bharata might not like that. Hence, you should never take my name in front of Bharata. And do wake up early in the morning every day. Take care of my mother. Take care of my father. And Bharata and Shatrughna are like my children. They are not just my brothers. They are like my children. So please do take care of them. And I shall take your leave. If only it was this easy for Rama. Now Sita began. She said that Pranayadeva Sankruddha. She was angry at Rama. After listening to Rama's words, she was angry at Rama. See, she was not upset that her husband is not going to be the king of Ayodhya. Now you have to imagine, you have to think like Sita. It's very difficult for anybody, even the modern feminists, to imagine a character like Sita, because Sita was not at all worried. In order to put it in today's perspective, she did not even give a damn about the crown. She was not at all worried that Rama is not going to be the king anymore. Then what was Sita worried about? Or what was she upset about? She was upset that Rama is leaving me. How can he leave me and go to forest alone? I am supposed to be his wife. I am supposed to be with him all the time. So that is Sita's thinking. That was Sita's thought. So she began saying that, what are you saying? It was not the word saying, which she said. Kimidam bhashase Rama. Bhashase. It's just like, what are you uttering? What are you blabbering? These were the first words that came out of Sita's mouth. Have you lost your mind? Why are you saying these things? See, for a woman, who is the most important person for a woman in her life? It's not the father, not the brother, not her son or daughter. It's her husband. Napita, Natmajo, Vatma, Namata, Nasakhi Jana, not her friends. Iha pretya janarina. While living and after departing, Patireko Gatisada. I know the modern feminists won't like these kind of statements, but these are the statements made by Sita herself. So Sita did not have any that sort of feminist ideas that these people deliberately want to put it on her head so that they can have somebody on their side of the argument. But Sita was not like that. Sita knew what she was. And then she said that one of the iconic statements made by Sita. See, my dear husband, if you have decided, if you have made up your mind to go to forest, then I shall walk in front of you. Mridnanti kushakantakan. Removing the thorns and stones from your path, I shall walk in front of you, even to the forest. No matter wherever it is, I do not want to leave you. If somebody offered me Swarga, if somebody offered me heaven on a platter, I would not accept it, because I don't think Swargepi Toya Vina Vasaha Narochate. I do not want to live in heaven without you. This was the kind of love that Sita had towards Rama. Do you think I am going to be troublesome to you in forest? No, I won't be. I won't trouble you a bit. I won't be a trouble to you at all. So please take me with you. And then Rama says that, I understand your opinion. I understand your heart that you want to come with me. But do you have any idea how difficult it is to live and survive in a forest? Then he narrates the difficulties that people face in the forest every day. See, Sita, you have grown up in a Raj Mahal. You have grown up in a palace. You had servants everywhere, even while growing up. You woke up every day to the sweet sound of Nadaswaram, or maybe Nagu Momu, I don't know, or maybe some Udayakalina Raga. You woke up to that sweet sound of music every day. Do you think there will be such kind of sweet music every day in the forest? No. You have to wake up to the sounds of tigers, lions, even maybe elephants. They may attack us. You cannot trust anything in forest. You think that this plant is harmless and it could be poisonous. You have to keep on moving in forest. You cannot stay in one particular place for a very long time. So the life of a forester is not that easy as you think. You told me that you want to enjoy the scenery, you want to enjoy the serene beauty of forest. I get that point, but it's not all hunky-dory when it comes to forest. It's going to be very difficult. So this is the reason why I do not want you to come with me. I want you to stay here, and instead of me, take care of my parents. Now Sita came back with another logic. See, Rama, long ago, at my father's place, there was an astrologer. He had come there to my father's sabha once. And my father, as usual, like every other father, even Janaka was curious to know the future of his daughter. So he placed Sita's Jatakam to that astrologer. And that Daivagnya, that Jyotishi, he took Sita's Jataka, he analyzed, and it was told, it was predicted that Sita will have to go and live a life of forester. So it has been written in my stars. It is my destiny. So I have to come to forest with you because it's already written in my stars. There is no fault in my star. Yeah? Fault in my stars, fault in our stars, something like that. Yes, there was no fault. There is no fault in my stars. So there is no point in blaming it. So I am meant to be a forester. I am meant for Vanavasa. So please take me with you. And I have been given to you with Kanyadanam. And while doing Kanyadanam, I was given to you completely by my father by putting a drop of water. Adbhir datta swadharmena. So a woman whom you have taken in this way, by the way of Pani Grahana, she is meant to be forever. You cannot leave her anytime. But Rama was in no mood to listen to her. This was not enough to convince Rama. So Rama still denied Sita. Now Sita had enough. She was unhappy. She was sad that her husband is leaving and he is denying her to accompany him. And here comes the first ever domestic fight. Kintva manyata vaidehaha pitame mithiladhipa. I don't know what was my father thinking. My father thought that you were a man. As it turns out, you are not. I thought you were capable of taking care of this entire world. Are you afraid of taking care of me? And why are you denying me? The harshest words Sita ever spoke to Rama. Are you a man? Are you not man enough to take care of me? Yes. And then, are you not afraid that what this entire world will talk about you? The so great Rama, he could not even take care of his wife. That's why he left his wife back in Ayodhya and he went to forest alone. Do you want to listen to these kind of words? And then she started crying profusely in front of Rama. She could not control herself. Valmiki says that she could not utter any more words. And she fell down. And Rama lifted her up and says that My dear Sita, the sun can never leave his energy. Can you imagine sun without energy? Can you imagine sun without light? Just like how we cannot imagine sun without light, I cannot imagine my life without you. I am not abandoning you. I am not leaving you. I cannot leave you. It's not that I am not abandoning you or I am not leaving you. Rama's words were, I cannot leave you. Navihatum maya shakya pritiratma vatayata. So, fine. You are mine and you will be with me. So it was decided that Sita is going to accompany Rama to the forest. And then he says that, see, Sita, I am not going to forest on my own will. It's my father's words that are taking me to the forest. I hope you understand this. I hope we don't have any quarrel or any sort of misunderstanding in the future. I don't want you to accuse me in future saying that you were the one who left Ayodhya and you brought me here in this jungle. I don't want to live with you anymore. I don't want such kind of domestic fights happening in future. So I'm warning you, I'm telling you right away that you should know what you are getting into. I am not walking into the forest on my own will. My father's words are taking me there. This is Rama. The value he put on his father's words. Excellent. And he says that I don't understand what else is there in this world other than following the words of your parents. Is there anything greater than that in this world? This is Rama's question. So it was decided. Now, he says to Sita that, fine, if we are to leave to forest, then we should disperse all our belongings, all our treasure, all our money. We should give it as dhanam. So bring together all your things. We are going to give it to the people of Ayodhya. Okay, Sita got into that job because she has to prepare. She has to pack as soon as possible because Rama was supposed to leave that night. Before the night fell, he had to leave. And now, as soon as this was decided, you have heard a picture of you have seen a picture of Lakshmana in the previous session. He said he was the original angry young man, right? Now you see an entirely different picture of Lakshmana. Lakshmana started weeping all of a sudden when he saw that Rama is taking Sita with him, and he could not control himself. He started weeping. He was afraid if Rama left him behind. He did not want to be left behind by Rama. So he says one beautiful line. Nadeva loka kramanam namaratva maham rane aishwaryancha pilokana kamayet natvayavina. Rama, my dear brother, I do not want to be seated in heaven. If somebody gave me a boon that I shall be God forever, I do not want to be that. Without you, I do not want to live a moment. So please take me with you. You have to take me with you now. Until this moment, Lakshmana was so sure, so certain that he will change Rama's mind. He will make sure that Rama stays in Ayodhya and takes back the throne by force. But now when he saw, the moment he saw Rama and Sita having this conversation, he was moved. He was moved to tears. He started weeping and he begged, he implored Rama to take him with him. Now Rama came back with another reply. He said that, Lakshmana, you are like my life. I don't trust anybody else other than you. Why don't you stay back in Ayodhya and take care of Kausalya and take care of Daśaratha? Lakshmana was not even bothered about Daśaratha. For him, Daśaratha was nobody. Daśaratha did not even exist in Lakshmana's thoughts. But when Rama said that you have to take care of Kausalya, stay back in Ayodhya, take care of Kausalya. Now, do you know what was the response of Lakshmana? Lakshmana says to Rama that, are you worried about Kausalya? Kausalya can take care of hundreds of me. Now she has the capability to take care of hundreds of Lakshmanas. You don't worry about her. Take me with you. Now I shall be there with you for 14 years. I shall serve you. You need me and I need you and I will be accompanying you. Aham sarvam karishyami jagrataha swapatashyate. I will take care of everything. While you rest, while you walk, I will take care of everything. Now Rama could not deny Lakshmana either. So finally it was agreed that these are the three people who are leaving to forest: Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana. And then he said that, okay, fine, disperse all your economy, all your wealth that you have accumulated so far as a prince, because we are leaving to forest as a forester. We are not leaving to forest as two princes of the state of Ayodhya. We are leaving to forest as a forester. So fine. So Rama asked Lakshmana to bring the Purohita named Suyagnya. So Lakshmana went and brought him. Suyagnya came and everything was dispersed to him. And later on, Agastya and Kaushika, two Brahmanas, were brought in. They are called by the name of their Gotra. They are not the original Agastya or the original Kaushika. Original Kaushika refers to Viśvāmitra and original Agastya refers to the great sage Agastya. But they were not called upon there. This refers to their Gotra name, that's all. So both of them were called, and whatever his home, his ornaments, his clothes, everything was given. And while this was being given away, there was a Brahmana, a very old and poor Brahmana living nearby Ayodhya. His name was Trijata. He was old and he had, Valmiki explains him in two adjectives: Nirdhanaha Bahuputraha. He had no money and a family full of children. He had plenty of stomachs to take care of and he had no money. So his wife prompted him, why don't you go and ask Rama? He's giving up his wealth. Why don't you go and ask him? So Trijata came and met Rama. So Rama, all of a sudden, he wanted to have a little fun, hasyarasam. He wanted to test Trijata. Trijata was old, mind it. So he wanted to see how strong Trijata is and how desperate Trijata is for money, because he was pauper. He had nothing, Trijata. He had only one danda with him, a stick with him, and he had only the stick to accompany him. So he was wearing a shawl. Valmiki explains it very beautifully. So Rama asks Trijata, let's see, what do you seek from me? He said that anything that you can give it to me, I shall be grateful to you. So Rama told Trijata, okay, fine. See, you have a stick in your hand. Use all your strength. Throw this stick as far as you can. And wherever the stick lands, starting from here to the point where the stick falls, that much of land and that much of go sampat, cows, cattle, it shall be yours. Now Trijata was all of a sudden enthusiastic. He threw that stick so far that it crossed Sarayu. It crossed the river Sarayu. And Rama was so happy. He wanted somebody who had this kind of hunger. So he gave that much of land. He granted that much of land, not that particular land, but the area, the measured area of that particular land somewhere else, and that much of cattle to him. He was very happy. Everything was set. Now, Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita. This was a small relief from the tragedy that we are going to see unfolding in front of our eyes. After this, Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita, they all went to seek the blessings of Daśaratha. They were ready. Now, as they moved, people began speaking. Rama could hear all those lines, all those words that people were speaking to each other. I mean, how can we see this kind of Rama who is walking alone, who is walking on his bare foot? The Rama we knew, he never walked like this. He was always seated on a ratha, on a chariot. We cannot imagine, or we cannot see Rama like this. I mean, what is Daśaratha consumed with? What has happened to Daśaratha? How can anybody, let alone Daśaratha, how can any father send his son? Fathers usually don't abandon their sons even when they are sinful, even when they have committed crime. Rama has not done any such thing, and yet Daśaratha is leaving Rama. Daśaratha has asked Rama to leave. How sad it is. And all these words, he had to hear it. He had to undergo all these kind of things. Now you can imagine what Rama could have gone through. See, when we are alone and when we are going through some pain, it doesn't hurt us a lot. But when people start speaking about it, it hurts, because they strike few chords in our heart that we ourselves didn't know that they existed. So that's what happened to Rama. And yet, Shushrava Raghava, he heard all of them, but Navichakresya Manasam. You could not find anything, any damaging thing happening on Rama's face. There was not a small vikara, small difference in Rama's face. He was like Nistaranga Mahodadhi. Imagine an ocean without any waves. That was Rama for you, even at this kind of pain, when he was going through this kind of pain. All right, so he entered, and before entering the Antapura of Daśaratha, Rama met Sumantra. So he asked Sumantra that, will you please let my father know that I have come here to seek his blessings? We are leaving. So Sumantra went and told Daśaratha that Rama is here to see you. Now Daśaratha had one wish. His wish was that he wanted to see his son along with his wives. How many wives did Daśaratha have? He had 3 Maharanis, right? 3 queens. He had 3 queens and 350 wives. And we will discuss about this later. It's not a very great thing. Rajano Bahu Vallabha. That's very common. So he wanted to see Rama with all his wives. By wives, he meant all 350 of them. Ardha Sapta Shatas Tatra, Valmiki's words. Sapta Shata is 700, Ardha Sapta Shata is 350. So 350 wives and 3 queens, Kausalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi was already there. So he wanted to see Rama with all of them. So Sumantra brought them all. Now, as everybody gathered there, Rama began to speak. He spoke to his father. He sought his father's peace. He asked his father that, Prabhu, I am leaving. And I tried my level best to leave alone, but Lakshmana and Sita, they did not agree. They are also coming with me. So, your permission for them to be allowed to come with me. Lakshmanam chanu janihi, Sita chanvetu mahamvanam. Let both of them accompany me, because I tried my level best, but they did not listen to me. So they are coming with me. Now, these are the moments when Daśaratha was even able to speak to Rama. So as soon as Rama told this, Daśaratha said, Rama, please don't speak like this. Don't seek my permission to go to forest, because you don't have to leave Ayodhya. You still have another option left. What is that option? Why don't you forcefully take this kingdom from me? I will surrender. I will surrender my kingdom to you. Take this kingdom by force. I won't mind. Take this. This was Daśaratha's offer. Daśaratha's one last final offer to Rama. Take this. But no, Rama had already made up his mind. he said that, no, I cannot take this. If I take this by force, my dear father, you will be turned as, you will go down as a liar, because you would have lied by then, because you gave your word to Kaikeyi and then you surrendered the same thing that you were supposed to give it to Bharata. You cannot do that. If you have promised something to someone and then you don't follow your words and you walk back on your words, it's not a thing for a person like you, especially for a king who belongs to Ikshvaku Vamsha. So I have decided that I am going to leave right now. Now, Daśaratha knew what Rama was. You could not challenge Rama. You could not change Rama's mind. You could not alter his decisions. He was very firm when he takes a decision. So Daśaratha asks him, Putra, why don't you stay here for this night? Why don't you stay tonight? Stay here tonight and you can leave tomorrow. But Rama was not willing. Rama was not having anything of this sort. He said that, Father, do you have any idea what kind of words me and you are going to listen or going to hear if I stayed here this night? No, I have already given my word to Kaikeyi that I am going to leave within tonight. So I cannot stay here tonight. Prapsyami ya nadya gunan. If I leave before the night falls today, imagine what glory will follow me because I followed my words. I stayed true to my words. And Komesh Vastan Pradasyati. And if I stayed here tonight and left tomorrow morning, who is going to give me that glory? Nobody is going to give me that glory on a silver platter. If I want that glory, if a Kshatriya wants a glory, he has to walk that path. And this is the path of Dharma. And I've already given my word to Kaikeyi and I shall leave. And I have never sought any pleasure in this kingdom. I have never sought the crown for myself. I always wanted to follow your orders. This is Rama and his Pitru Bhakti at its peak. Naivaham Rajyam Ichchami. I don't want this kingdom. Nasukham Nacha Medini. I don't want all the royal pleasures. I don't want to rule this kingdom. Naiva Sarvaniman Kama. I don't want the royal pleasures. Nasvargam Nacha Jeevitum. I don't want heaven. I don't want even to live. I don't want to live. Then what do I want? Tvamaham Satyam Ichchami Nanratam Purushaprayatna. I just want to see you stay true to your words. Would you find this kind of a son anywhere in the world? Let us ask this question to ourselves. Rama is not even doing this for himself. He is not even doing this to stay true to his words. He is doing everything of this to make sure that his father stays true to his words until the day he lives. A son who is willing to sacrifice his life, who is willing to sacrifice everything for the sake of his father's glory. If Rama did go to forest for 14 years, there is not a single kalanka, there is not a single black mark in Ikshvaku Vamsha, especially during the reign of Daśaratha. Why? Because Daśaratha would have stayed true to his words. This is Rama's sacrifice, a selfless sacrifice. It was not for him. Rama was not going to forest for his own glory. Let's not forget that. He went to the forest. That's why I reminded earlier when he was speaking to Sita. He says that it's not me who is willfully going to forest. It's my father's words that are taking me to the forest. That's the value Rama had. That's the value Rama put on his father's words. That's the value we all should have on our own words. We make promises, we break promises because promises are meant to be broken, just like rules. Because it is cool. No, it is not. Dharma is cool. If at all there is something cool, then it is dharma. Breaking rules is very easy. because every Tom, Dick and Harry does that. Staying on the path of dharma, being selfless like Rama, that takes hard work. Pita hi daivatam tata, devatanam api smritam. For Rama did not believe in any God. Rama believed in only one God, and his God was not his mother. There is no mother sentiment here. There is father sentiment. For him, his father was his God. Tasmad daivatamityeva karishyami piturvachaha. So, I am going to follow my father's orders, not because it is my father who is giving me this order. I'm going to follow his orders because it is my God who is giving me this order. That was the dedication. That was the level of Rama's Pitar Bhakti. Now, there was nobody on this earth who could have changed Rama's mind. So everything was set. Rama was supposed to leave. And at this moment, Sumantra, all of a sudden, he became emotional. Daśaratha's long-standing friend, his prime minister, his Sarathi, his confidant, he could not take this anymore. He knew the royal family very well. He knew everybody. So Sumantra began speaking. He was furious. He was fuming with anger, Sumantra, just like how Lakshmana was back a few days ago. Now, Sumantra, he started abusing Kaikeyi, which according to few people was uncalled for, but some of them defend what Sumantra told, the words that Sumantra uttered to Kaikeyi. See, in the perspective of poet Valmiki, if you called a woman Patighni, a woman who kills her husband, that was meant to be the highest abuse that anybody can give to a woman back in those days, because they worshipped their husbands back in those days. So that's what Sumantra called Kaikeyi. Patighnim tvamaham manye, kulagnim api chantataha. See, a woman can be a kulagni. She can destroy a vamsha. She can destroy a kula. That's okay. But if she destroys her husband, and she is the worst kind of woman that ever existed, according to Sumantra. And he goes on and on. And then he says that, I think there is a saying in this world, usually sons, they take up the characteristics from their father, and daughters take up the characteristics of their mother. I think that is very much true in your case, Kaikeyi, because I have heard a story about your mother. I know what kind of a woman your mother was. See, I told you. I'm keeping it as much sophisticated as I can. So Sumantra narrated a small story about Kaikeyi's mother. Kaikeyi's father, King Kekaya, he had a varadanam. He had a boon, he had a gift from somebody. He could hear, he could listen to each and every creature that was present on this earth. So one fine day, when he was with his wife, he heard a bird making some sounds. And since he could understand what that bird was speaking, he enjoyed that. So he laughed. He laughed twice or thrice. His wife, Kekaya's wife, that is Kaikeyi's mother, she thought that he is laughing at her. So she asked him, "Why are you laughing at me?" Now King Kekaya responded saying that, "No, my dear, I am not laughing at you. And I cannot tell you the reason, because that was the deal by that person. Whoever had granted him, whoever had gifted him that vidya, he had told him that if you told this secret to anybody, you will fall, you will die. The moment you give this secret vidya to somebody else, or even if you speak about this vidya to someone else, you will die." So he was in a dilemma now. He cannot say. So he took some time and he went back to that person, the person who granted him that vidya. He told him, "Brahman, this is the situation I am in. What should I do?" He said that, "Mriyatam dhvamsatam va iyam Mashamsi stvam mahipate. Let her die. Let her fall down. Let her do whatever she wants. Do not speak about this Vidya to her. Clear instructions from that person. So King Kekaya came back, and he was a relieved man now because he had a clarity now. So he left his wife. So what Sumantra meant was, you belong to that kind of a family where women usually torture their husbands. Your mother was like that. So it makes all the sense in the world that you too are a torturer of poor Daśaratha. What more can we expect from you, Kaikeyi? So this was Sumantra. And somehow Daśaratha convinced Sumantra, okay, let it go, my friend, let it go. And then Sumantra was given another order by Daśaratha. He said that send an army with Rama. Send all the wealth, all the treasury should be sent along with Rama. Let him live like a prince, live like a king in the forest. Now, Kaikeyi was standing there. If somebody abuses you in public, in front of 350 other people who are of the same gender, would you not feel ashamed? Yes, you would. But you are not Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi was not even ashamed. No matter whatever is spoken about her, whoever is speaking anything against her, she was unbothered. She was unflinched. So as soon as she heard that Daśaratha is trying to give away the entire kingdom, not the entire kingdom, but the entire kingdom in another way. He's sending away the army, he's sending away the treasury. Now she was afraid. Now she thought that, oh, wait a minute, what are you doing? Do you think whom is Bharata going to rule then? And without any wealth, without any money, without any power, without any army, what kind of a kingdom is that? And what are you playing at, Daśaratha? This is not done. This was not part of the deal. So you cannot give Rama anything. So this is when Kaikeyi breaks all the hurdles. She broke all the hurdles and she speaks. She compared Rama to Asamanja. If you remember who Asamanja is. If you have heard the story properly, you would remember who Asamanja was. Asamanja was Sagara's son. He had a habit. That habit was that he used to take up newborn babies of Ayodhya and he used to put them and make sure that all those babies drown in river Sarayu. People were fed up of him. He was the prince, but they were fed up of him. They went to the king. They complained about him. And the king gave an order that he shall be abandoned. He shall be banished from the kingdom forever, never to be revoked. Now there was this minister called as Siddhartha. He could not hold back his tongue. He said that, Kaikeyi, what are you talking about? Are you sane? Have you gone mad? How can you compare Rama with Asamanja? Asamanja was like this. Okay, tell us. Here we are. All of us are here. Why don't you tell us what exactly is the problem in Rama? What is the mistake that Rama has committed? What has he done wrong? Can you tell us that? She was, again, as I said, she was unbothered. So finally, it was decided. Then now, Rama himself says that Tyakta bhogasya me rajan vane vanyena jivataha kinkaryamanuyaatrena. What am I going to do with the army? I'm going to forest as a forester. A forester doesn't need an army. A forester doesn't need wealth. And also, if I have given up, if I have told that I have given up, I don't have any wish to be the king. If I have told that, then I should not be expecting to take an army with me or to take the wealth with me to the forest. He says that if somebody has given an elephant as a danam, but he wants to hold on to that rope that controls that elephant. Does it make any sense? This is the analogy that Rama gave to Daśaratha. I have given up this elephant-like kingdom, and I do not want to hold back onto the rope that controls this elephant. And that rope is economy and army. These are the two ropes that actually control the entire kingdom. And if I have given up the kingdom to Bharata, if I have given the kingdom to Bharata, I cannot take away the ropes that control the elephant. So I do not want this. And Kaikeyi was very happy to listen to these words from Rama. It was like sweet nectar falling on her ears. Now she went herself, she brought the narumadi that we call Chiravastram in Sanskrit, the attire that usually the foresters wear. She brought the vastra by herself. She gave it to Rama and asked Rama to change in front of everybody. That was Kaikeyi, ruthless, absolutely ruthless. Now Rama changed in front of everybody. Lakshmana did. Sita was standing there. She had no clue whatsoever. Sita says that Kathannu chiram badhananti munayo vanavasinaha iti hyakushala Sita samumoha muhurmu. She was upset. Sita was upset. Why? Because she says that I don't know how foresters drape this attire. I don't know how to drape this thing on me. Now, as so many people were there, thousands of people had gathered there. Everybody were watching. And in front of everybody, Rama draped Sita's sari in front of everyone. And Valmiki says that at this moment, there came an artanada, there came a sound of cry that shook the entire Ayodhya. The women that were present there, they could not hold back their tears. No woman can. Can you imagine the plight of Sita? She had to change in front of everybody because that was the demand of Kaikeyi. That you cannot go anywhere. You have to change into these clothes and leave right away from here. That was Kaikeyi, so ruthless. And Sita had to change. And Rama was the one who draped that Narumadi Vastram to Sita. And now Vasishtha, he was okay up until this moment. Because he's a Brahmarshi. He has the ability, a Brahmarshi usually has the ability to remain calm under all circumstances. But this really shook even the likes of Vasishtha. Now just imagine, there is a Vasishtha in Ramayana, and then we have a Bhishma and a Drona in Mahabharata. I'm not going to comment any further in this topic. You decide for yourself. Where exactly did those two gentlemen go wrong? And where exactly was Vasishtha right in this regard? Now he could not control anymore. He thought that this is the right time to speak. And he spoke. Vasishtha spoke. And he gave an order. He is the man who had learned all the Shastras. He knows the rules and regulations far better than anybody else in this world. Vasishthasya Shasanam. The Ikshvakus ruled. The Suryavamshis, they ruled. The Raghukula ruled because they had Vasishtha. He was the brain behind the Raghuvamsha. So he spoke that Atma hi dara sarvesham dara sangrahavartinam. Those who take up Grihasthashrama, those who take up the second ashrama, for all of them, for all those people, Atma hi dara. In Sanskrita, daraha means wife. Wife is a man's soul. Now remember this line, and next time when you hear anybody speaking anything ill about Ramayana and a poet like Valmiki not having any vision towards feminism, or not valuing or not valuing women enough, remember this line. The same poet has said this line, Atma Hidara. So let Sita rule on behalf of Rama. Who is to deny Sita sitting on the throne? We can have our own queen. Is there anything that to say no to this? Is there any logic to say no to this? No. Why? Because everything will be according to the law. Kaikeyi will have her wish, the first wish, not the second one, unfortunately. The first wish of Kaikeyi was that Rama should leave to forest. Rama will leave to forest for 14 years. And before that, what preceded it was Daśaratha had already given his word to Rama that he shall be the king. So let Daśaratha keep his word, and so Kaikeyi too. Let Kaikeyi also keep her word. Kaikeyi wants to send Rama away. Let us send Rama away to forest. But instead of Rama, Sita can rule the kingdom, right? But this was out of emotion. Even Vasishtha knew that this logic is not going to stand for a long time. So he says that, okay, fine, Kaikeyi, you are so hungry of this kingdom, right? Do you think there is going to be a single soul living in this Ayodhya if Rama left tonight? I don't think so. So you stay here. You stay in this people-less, creature-less Ayodhya all by yourself. You can stay here as long as you want. And this is like the introduction or the Pithika or the Ankurarpana for a gem of a character that we are going to discuss in the coming session, Bharata, the greatest ever. And there you have, this is going to be the title of next session, Bharata, the greatest ever. And Vasishtha knew what Bharata was. So he makes a bold statement. Nahi adattam mahim pitra bharata shastum ichhati tvaiva putravad vastum yadijato mahipatehe. If Bharata is born out of his father Daśaratha, then he shall not take this kingdom that is not given to him by his father. It has been snatched by you from Daśaratha. It is not given to Bharata. So I am very sure that Bharata will not sit on this throne. And he did not. Did he? He did not. Who knew Bharata well? Vasishtha knew Bharata well. And he says that Nahi tad bhavita rashtram yatra ramo na bhupatihi. Where Rama is not the king, it's not going to be Ayodhya. And that even the forest is going to become Ayodhya where Rama lives. Wherever Rama is, that is Ayodhya. So we can make this entire body, this shariram, as Ayodhya. That's what the Vedas said. Ashtachakra navadvara devanam puhu. Puhu arthat puri nagari Ayodhya. This body is called as Ayodhya. And Ramo Rajamani sada vijayate. And Rama stays here. Rama is the Atma. And what a wonderful comparison, isn't it? This is the soul of Ramayana. And only Vasishtha knew what Rama was. If you remember, Viśvāmitra had already said this. Aham vedmi mahatmanam Ramam satyaparakramam. I know what Rama is. Vasishthopi mahateja. Vasishtha knows what Rama is. So here he is, speaking the truth. And he says that, may Kaikeyi, may you try and jump. How much ever you try, even if you want this kingdom so badly that you are willing to jump to the sky. I don't think Pitruvamsha Charitrajna Sonyatha Nakarishyati. I don't think Bharata is going to follow your footsteps. I don't think Bharata is going to take up the throne as you are thinking. What an insight into Bharata's character by Vasishtha. So after this was done, even now, even when Vasishtha spoke, The great Vasishtha spoke. Kaikeyi was unmoved. So after Sita wore that Narumadi, that Chiravastram, so Kausalya and Sumitra, they gave their ornaments. So everything was set. Now, Kausalya, he said that, I think back in some other Janma, I had taken away this calf which was drinking milk from her mother. And that's the reason why I am suffering right now. This is what happens when you take a calf forcefully from its mother. See, karma vipaka. This is called as karma vipaka. And another beautiful insight into Jyotishya's unconquered territory, unexplored territory. There is a concept in Jyotisha called as karma vipaka, which is so precise that it will tell you if you are facing a vyadhi, I mean, if you are going through an illness, Jyotishya has the means called as karma vipaka, where it will precisely tell you what is the reason. And the reason is going to be that you have committed a sin. And what sort of sin? What exactly did you do? You might have hit a cow. You might have killed a cow. And this is the result of that. And that's the precision that Jyotisha has. And here he is, Valmiki, giving us yet another insight into Jyotisha. All right. And we must take a moment or two to appreciate what a great poet Valmiki is now and then. All right. So now, both Kausalya and Sumitra, they spoke to Sita. They said that usually anitya hridayaha striyaha, women are not loyal. Women are not known for their loyalty. I'm very sorry. We are going to end the first half of this session with a harsh pill spoken by the women to a woman. So don't blame me. Don't blame the poet. He's only speaking the words of women. So both Kausalya and Sumitra said this to Sita, that usually women are not loyal. And after they come to know that their husband has gone poor, or he cannot take care of the family, or he has fallen into a deep misery, they usually leave him. See, freedom, freedom, freedom. They had the freedom. They have all the freedom since a long time ago. So they requested on behalf of Rama, do not leave my son Rama just because he is going through this kind of misery. Dharmad vijalitum naham alam chandra iva prabha. Natantri vadyate veena na chakro vidyate ratha. Just like how without strings there is no veena, without prabha, without that glow there is no chandra, and without a wheel there is no chariot. Likewise, a woman has no existence without her husband. Words spoken by Sita, not me. Napati sukhamedheta yasyadapi shatatmaja. Mitam dadatihi pita. A father gives a daughter only a little. Mitam bhrata. A brother gives a little. Mitam sutaha. Even a son gives only a little. What kind of a woman would not serve, would not worship a husband who gives everything to her? And he does. A husband is supposed to give everything, even his punya. It's a share. That's the reason why she doesn't have to do anything. She has to do nothing at all. And yet she will get everything from her husband. And she says that, don't worry, I have been trained well. I am not going to abandon or leave Rama. If I had any thought of such kind, I would have not even asked him to accompany him. So I'm not going to leave him.